Hello, Chillify, I'm ready. Too many children, and the husband's family won't have enough assets to divide. The Gu family, a lineage of only sons for 8 generations and the wealthiest in the land, just announced a high-paying recruitment for a daughter-in-law. Bear a son, receive 30 million gold. Bear a daughter, receive 20 million gold. All you have to do is give birth. The Gu family will take care of the rest. My heart pounded with insane joy. A chance to strike it rich had arrived. The first time I gave birth to triplets, all boys. Madame Gu threw a city-wide party, her eyes practically disappearing from all the smiling. The second time I had quadruplets, 2 boys, 2 girls. Madame Gu smiled gently, her care and attention unwavering. But the third time it was triplets again, all boys. Madame Gu couldn't even manage a smile anymore. From then on, she'd complain to everyone she met, "My family has a unique constitution, passed down through generations, we get pregnant so easily. My grandmother had 8 boys and 2 girls. Back then, a landlord was eaten out of house and home, becoming impoverished. My mother had dragon phoenix twins and still wanted more, but circumstances wouldn't allow it. After one birth, she had to stop." Summing up 2 generations of experience, my mother meticulously advised me, "When choosing a partner, you absolutely must pick someone handsome and rich. Our family's constitution isn't easy to control. Twins are considered a mistake, triplets are normal. Occasionally, a burst of quadruplets or quintuplets isn't uncommon. Choose someone handsome, and your children will be beautiful, a joy to behold. Choose a rich family so your children will have support." After all, the lesson from Grandma is still there. Don't let it happen again where you turn someone into a pauper or it'll be over for you. I took her words to heart. That's why I remained single for years. Until a few days ago, the Gu family, the richest in the country, was recruiting. A high-paying announcement for a daughter-in-law. Bear a son, receive 30 million gold. Bear a daughter, receive 20 million gold. You just need to give birth. The Gu family will handle everything. Immediately, the world rushed to submit applications. My mind raced and I plunged into registration. I conquered every obstacle, defeated all competitors, and reached the finals, ultimately clinching the champion's title. Holding the employment letter, I excitedly called my mother. "Mom, I'm about to get rich." My mother, after hearing the whole story, took a deep breath. "My dear, remember to be a bit restrained. Don't drive them into bankruptcy, understood?" On my first day of work, Madame Gu, her face as cold as ice, sternly instructed me, "Our Gu family has had only sons for 8 generations. Continuing the family line is incredibly difficult, so don't blame me for being a bit biased towards sons. After the first child is born, we'll immediately register the marriage. The bonus will be transferred right away. If you can't conceive, you'll receive a living allowance and return to where you came from." I confidently patted my chest. "Please rest assured, madam. I guarantee I will fulfill the mission." Madame Gu, satisfied, waved her hand, and immediately, someone brought in the future father of my children, Xieya Gu. His eyebrows were sharp and cold, his face exquisitely chiseled, his legs impossibly long, and his 8-pack abs unintentionally revealed. Honestly, in any other setting, he'd undoubtedly be the most handsome man in the room. But alas, this handsome man was currently in a rather pitiful state. He was tightly bound with red silk ropes. 8 bodyguards carried him in and he thrashed violently, screaming in protest, "Release me! Are you trying to turn me into a breeding pig? Get lost! I don't touch women! Put me down! Marriage is freedom, love is freedom!" He yelled until his voice was hoarse. It was heartbreaking to hear. Suddenly, I understood. So the reason Madame Gu was recruiting a daughter-in-law at such a high price was because her only son, from 8 generations of only sons, was gay. Oh, what a truly sorrowful situation. Madame Gu wore a pained expression. "Xieya, I understand your wishes. I'm not old-fashioned. Just have one child and after that you can go wherever you want. If you like men, that's fine. Transgender people are fine too. I'll accept anything." Hearing this, Xieya Gu struggled even more fiercely. "Mother, don't misunderstand, all right? Who said I like men?" Madame Gu looked even sadder. "Oh, I understand now. You like transgender people. Your taste is certainly special. But transgender people can't give birth and this is my only wish. Indulge your mother just this once." Xieya Gu screamed. "I told you not to misunderstand." Madame Gu wiped the corners of her eyes, no longer having the energy to argue with him. She pointed at me and said to him, "This is the mother I painstakingly selected. She's your future wife. I know your preferences are special, but this girl is a good person. We can't let her suffer any disadvantage." Xieya Gu gave a cold, dismissive laugh. It's useless, mother. No matter who it is, it's not the person I want. Even if you can bind my body, my soul will fight for its chastity. Madame Gu ignored him and pulled me closer for an introduction. This is my rebellious son, Xieya Gu. Tonight, if he's tied up like this, will you be able to get the job done? I looked him over, the handsome man with disheveled clothes and an abstinent aura. The red silk ropes were tied very tightly, but they didn't affect any important parts. I confidently looked up and assured her, "No problem at all, madam. No matter how difficult the contractor will fight with all my might." Madame Gu, pleased, turned to lecture Xieya Gu. Look at her, then look at yourself. I didn't understand why Xieya Gu, who had been struggling so violently, suddenly went silent. Occasionally, his gaze would sweep over me, and the tips of his ears turned red. That evening, to ensure safety, Xieya Gu was tightly bound to the bed. As much as he struggled fiercely during the day, he was just as quiet at night. I figured he must have accepted his reality. I rubbed my hands together excitedly. Just imagine, a 1.8-meter-tall man with an abstinent aura, tied to a bed, allowing me to do whatever I wanted and then getting paid for it. The mere thought thrilled me. Oh, I don't have much experience. If I hurt you, remember to tell me, okay? I quickly started unbuttoning his shirt. Xieya Gu's face flushed crimson, his eyes darting as if searching for a topic. Mia, are you there? Do you have someone you like? My hands paused. I remembered the office worker's principle. Any request from the client must be answered seriously. I searched my memory, then resolutely shook my head. No, I don't, Xieya Gu sighed. I do. My laughter was so intense I was practically in my underwear, but then I couldn't continue. He had someone in his heart. Was it right for me to do this? Xieya Gu glanced at me, his face turning even redder. Why did you stop? I crawled onto him, slightly hesitant. I didn't know you had someone. If you don't want this, then forget it. After all, it's just a few tens of millions. Boo-hoo-hoo, but a person still needs to have a conscience, right? Xieya Gu's face seemed to be on fire. He cleared his throat. It's fine, just continue. I forcefully tore open his shirt, still politely saying, "Oh, you and your partner wouldn't mind, would you?" "If it were me, I wouldn't." "Oh, your partner must be very kind, huh?" I raised my hand and unzipped his pants. We faced each other frankly, but I kept fumbling, unsure what to do. Xieya Gu gasped, "Listen to me, untie me, and let me do it." No, based on my calculations, I'd get at least twins, guaranteeing 40 million gold. What if I untied him and he ran off with my 40 million? I tried harder, found the right spot, and with a forceful push, I screamed in pain, my insides twisting. Xieya Gu took a deep breath. "Listen, untie me. You'll get hurt this way." I complied because it really was too painful. Indeed, money isn't easy to earn, nor is it easy to keep. 40 million gold wasn't something to be easily pocketed. The moment he was untied, Xieya Gu immediately flipped me over, pinning me down, then turned off the light. My first day on the job had officially begun. In my last moments of lucidity, my mind hazy, held only one thought: Xieya Gu must be a top. His stamina is just too good. Indeed, only weak men top women. Real men top men. The next morning, I woke up to an empty bed. My phone had a new contact and a message. "Xieya, urgent company matters to handle. Call me if anything comes up." I sighed, lamenting. It's truly rare to find such a thoughtful client these days. Before I could reply, my best friend's phone rang. The moment I picked up, her voice shrieked from the other end. "Mia, where the hell are you? Do you know we have a meeting with Han Hai today? If you mess up this meeting, I swear I'll take your head and turn it into a potted plant." I rubbed my ears, glancing at the clock. It was already 10 a.m. I immediately shot up. Oh my God, working overtime is so hard. I almost forgot my main job. After graduation, my best friend and I opened an advertising company together. The Han Hai order was our biggest, worth 50 million gold. My best friend had meticulously instructed me, "Mia, once we finish this order, we can go abroad and have fun. The Han Hai order is her lifeblood." I rushed to the company, but still arrived 3 minutes late for the appointment. The receptionist coldly blocked me. "Sorry, your appointment time has passed. Please reschedule." My best friend gritted her teeth. "You'd better explain clearly where you were yesterday," I stammered. "I took on some freelance work." She laughed coldly. "Freelance work, more important than a 50 million gold order? Well, not that important. It just guaranteed 40 million gold, that's all." The elevator doors opened, and a group of people poured out like a tide. Leading them was a handsome man, his face cold, his aura dominating the entire room. My best friend quickly pulled me behind her, then plastered a bright smile on her face and rushed forward. "Director Gu, I'm Snow Song from Starlight Advertising. Would you mind taking a look at this?" Xieya Gu didn't stop walking, nor did he even glance at her. His assistant blocked her. Sorry, please reschedule. Director Gu has urgent matters to attend to. My phone vibrated. Xieya. Home in 20 minutes. What do you want to eat? I looked at my best friend, desperately trying to persuade him, then at Xieya Gu, quickly walking ahead. I timidly raised my hand. Hey! The moment he heard my voice, Xieya Gu immediately stopped, lifted his head, and his eyes gazed deeply into mine. His Adam's apple bobbed slightly. My face flushed, a hint of jealousy rising in my heart. That damn charmer, living such a good life, he held out his hand. Give it here. Snow Song hurriedly handed him the proposal. Director Gu, this is the first draft. If there are any points you're not satisfied with, we'll revise it immediately. Xieya Gu didn't take the contract. I immediately pulled it out. He didn't bother to look at it, directly flipped to the last page, signed it, then handed it back to me. Wait for me at home. Before the sentence even faded, every employee on the first floor of Han Hai turned to stare at me, their eyes filled with shock and curiosity, as if asking what qualifications I possessed. I instantly felt like I was sitting on pins and needles. Only my foolish best friend was still immersed in joy. We got the contract. I told you, if you just have thick skin, there's no order you can't get. Tonight, I'm even inviting your senior to celebrate. Everyone's eyes changed again, as if to say, oh my God, how shocking, the boss is being cheated on. Xieya Gu suddenly turned around and stood in front of me, the corner of his mouth curving into a wolf-like smirk, his eyes glowing with an eerie blue light. I love celebration parties. Let me join you. My best friend excitedly agreed. Okay. I pulled her back. Girl, you're playing with fire. My best friend brushed my hand away. For a sugar daddy, I'd gladly jump into fire. All right. In terms of enlightenment, I, the contractor, am inferior to her. That evening, by the roadside, at a spicy skewer hot pot restaurant, the four of us sat at a table. The stools were too low, and Xieya Gu's legs were too long, constantly brushing against me. He looked at the young man opposite him, smiling, yet not smiling. You're Mia's senior, aren't you? Thank you for taking care of her all these years. Xieya Gu reached out, one arm sweeping over, pulling me into his embrace. Cheng Mo's face turned icy cold. He brushed Xieya Gu's hand away and even kicked my leg that Xieya Gu was touching. No need for formalities. I'm happy to take care of little Mia. But you're different. Don't be so hands-on in public. As far as I know, little Mia doesn't have a boyfriend yet. Xieya Gu hugged me tighter, raising an eyebrow provocatively. My Mia is easily shy. Whether she has a boyfriend or not is not something to discuss with outsiders like you, is it? Cheng Mo sneered. I'm not an outsider. Little Mia and I studied together for 4 years in college. I'm her closest person. Boyfriend? Xieya Gu enunciated each word clearly. He's a male friend. Cheng Mo clenched his fist. What's that to you? Their eyes clashed in midair, sparks flying. Snow Song, sitting beside me, was frantically gossiping. Fight. I immediately pulled her back. Stop causing trouble. Didn't we say this was a celebration party? Who celebrates by eating spicy skewer hot pot? Snow Song shrugged. I didn't choose it, Director Gu did. No way, the Gu family is so rich he must have never eaten this before. Snow Song swore. It's true. If the client hadn't suggested it, how would I dare invite him to eat this? As she spoke, she picked up a sweet fish cake for me, her face full of curiosity. Confess. What's going on between you and Director Gu? This story is a long one. But before I could speak, Xieya Gu snatched the fish cake from my bowl. He lowered his head and smiled gently at me. You're about to get pregnant. You shouldn't eat this. One sentence, and the entire table instantly fell silent. Snow Song was the first to recover. What the hell, are you two married already? I shook my head, softly explaining, not married, but we slept together. No Song cursed. Damn it, when? Yesterday during my freelance work. Snow Song's voice immediately shot up. What? You're doing escort work. Can this girl finish a sentence, please? The celebration party ended on an unpleasant note. Xieya Gu pulled me to the car, walking quickly, head down, not saying a word. I felt he was probably angry. It made sense. He'd just recruited a high-paying daughter-in-law, and now a love interest had blossomed right beside her. Anyone would be unhappy. I softly assured him, Director Gu, please rest assured, I have professional ethics. Once I accepted Madame Gu's employment letter, I absolutely would not mess around. Xieya Gu's footsteps suddenly stopped. He turned around, annoyance in his eyes. In your eyes, am I just a client? Is our relationship only contractual? What else would it be? We only slept together once. What kind of relationship did you expect to develop? Asking that felt utterly terrifying. Little Mia, you have no heart. Xieya Gu turned and walked away. I hurriedly ran after him. Director Gu, do you mean you want to develop additional emotional services? That's fine too, but that's a different price. After all, true feelings are vague and hurt both body and mind. Xieya Gu's face was cold as he refused. No need. I'm not so desperate as to use a contract to bind a heart. He reached the car, opened the door, pushed me in, then slammed the door shut and left. I called out after him, Xieya Gu, where are you going? He looked up, waved his hand. HMPH, I'm not riding with you. You drive yourself home, I'll walk. But I don't know how to drive. His footsteps paused. He grumbled, turned back, and directly carried me into the passenger seat. When you're free, learn to drive. Don't just cry when you're abandoned on the street later. Back home, he was still angry, walking straight into the bedroom. It was true, clients could openly show their displeasure, but I couldn't. After all, I still had to work. I quickly showered, made myself smell nice, then slipped under Xieya Gu's blanket. Boss, please have mercy. Xieya Gu was slightly red but still sulking. He resolutely pulled the blanket, rolling me into a tube. Little Mia, listen carefully. Even if it means ending the family line, I will not force someone who has someone else in their heart. I felt awkward. Boss, you misunderstand. My senior and I are just classmates. The Gu family's bloodline absolutely cannot be mistaken. Xieya Gu was so angry he laughed, then reached out and squeezed my cheeks into a bun shape. It has nothing to do with that rotten senior, I stammered. Then why? Xieya Gu looked at me intently. Because of you, I want you to have me in your heart. I was stunned for a long time, then suddenly got angry. What is this? Can we do this properly? Having children is fine, after all, that's my advantage. But now you want me to develop feelings too? Even if I did, you like transgender people. Are you going to make me change my gender? There's no such thing as a woman becoming transgender. I said coldly, Xieya Gu, do you want to sleep or not? If not, then you just wait. I escaped the blanket, pushed open the door, and stepped out. Madame Gu, downstairs, heard the commotion. What's wrong? I shrugged. Madame Gu, Xieya Gu isn't cooperating. When a client is difficult, the fastest way is to report them to a superior. Someone will handle it. 5 minutes later, 8 cool bodyguards rushed in, red silk ropes in hand, skillfully tying Xieya Gu tightly to the bed. Xieya Gu's eyes flared with anger. Little Mia, you're good, I smiled coldly. Don't underestimate a contractor's determination to earn money. Tonight, even if you scream yourself hoarse, I won't let you go. After a night of effort, I finally used my superior skills to completely conquer the client. Perhaps because I was so tired from the night before, I slept very deeply. When I woke up, I didn't know when, but he had untied the red silk ropes, and I was nestled in his arms, my knees resting on his arm. Xieya Gu looked down at me, so close I could see the fine fuzz on his face. Are you angry? His voice was cold. I quickly sat up. Sorry, I was too tired and slept soundly. Did I press on you too hard? Not knowing what he was thinking, Xieya Gu's face instantly turned red. He turned away. He rotated his shoulders, stood up, got dressed, washed his face, and went out without another word. After that, for 10 consecutive days, he was nowhere to be seen. Not only did he not come home, he didn't even send messages. Madame Gu, worried, went with me to the company to arrest him. I took a deep breath, hurriedly trying to stop her. Tying him up twice was already too much. If we tie him up at the company too, Xieya Gu will truly become a breeding pig. I'll go, madam, don't get agitated. I quickly stopped her. At the company, the receptionist blocked me. Sorry, Director Gu is currently with an important guest and cannot be disturbed. I didn't know if it was my imagination, but I felt the receptionist's gaze was full of pity. A few passing employees whispered, see, that's the girl. It's only been 10 days and she's already been abandoned by the director. Oh my God, rich people really have no feelings? Was someone trying to steal my job? Unforgivable. Let me in. The receptionist blocked me again. Please don't make this difficult for me. Director Gu truly cannot be disturbed. I said nothing, just dialed my phone and put Madame Gu on speakerphone. Madame Gu, please step aside. The receptionist obediently made way, simultaneously pulling out her phone and furiously typing. I glanced over. She was posting in a gossip group. Hurry up to the director's office. Old flame and new flame are about to fight. I smoothly entered the director's office. As I opened the door, it was exactly as I expected. I saw a long-haired beauty with a fiery figure, so stunning that I felt utterly inferior. All the lines I had prepared vanished. I could only meekly say, "Hello, beautiful sister." The beauty turned her head and smiled, a smile that could topple nations. I choked, silently thinking, it's over, I'm unemployed. Compared to her, I'm definitely outclassed. The beauty extended her hand, her voice rough, as if cut and ground. Hello, little sister, my name is Wang Taijui. What the? You're not a sister, you're a brother. The rumor that Xieya Gu liked transgender people was indeed true, such a stunning beauty. If I were a man, I'd probably turn gay too. Xieya Gu truly didn't keep his word. He forced me to have him in my heart, but his heart didn't have me. So unfair, so unreasonable. He clearly wanted me to be jobless. Damn these heartless capitalists. Mr. Taijui politely asked me, "Little sister, what are you looking for Xieya for?" Immediately, the guilt of being the other woman spread through me. I came to take Xieya Gu home. Oh my God, stealing a man in front of his rightful partner, I truly had no blessings left. Mr. Taijui smiled gently. Oh, is that so? Please sit and wait a moment. Xieya will be here soon. I felt like I was sitting on pins and needles, not knowing what to do, yet couldn't suppress my curiosity. Brother Taijui. No, Sister Taijui, how did you and Director Gu meet? Mr. Taijui chuckled. Just call me sister, I like hearing that. I quickly said, yes, hello, sister. Mr. Taijui, satisfied, said, we met while studying abroad, he was a schoolmate, we've known each other for 5 years. 5 years, their relationship must be very stable. No wonder when I first started, Xieya Gu was tied up and refused so resolutely. Their love was truly as firm as steel. Mr. Taijui bowed his head, smiling charmingly. It's nothing special. Xieya says I'm his only one. Boo-hoo-hoo, I'm such a scoundrel. Such a sweet couple, and I, the mother of his children, intruded. How sinful. Little sister, wait a moment, okay? The meeting over there is taking a bit long. It'll be a while. In my heart, a fierce struggle raged. I timidly asked, Sister Taijui, if you found out Xieya Gu had someone else behind your back, would you be sad? Mr. Taijui paused. No one has ever asked me that before. He thought for a moment, then answered seriously. If that were the case, I would definitely withdraw myself. I've been with Xieya for many years. I don't want to end up causing a scene. Boo-hoo-hoo, I'm not human. I abruptly stood up and bowed deeply to Mr. Taijui. I'm so sorry. Mr. Taijui, have we met before? Why are you apologizing? I've decided. This job cannot continue. Xieya Gu is trying to escape his family's arrangements. Mr. Taijui isn't afraid to travel thousands of miles to pursue love. I cannot become the destroyer of this loving couple. Rest assured, sister, I promise you seriously, I won't let that happen. You two must be happy. Saying that, I rushed out of the room. Behind me, Xieya Gu hurriedly entered the office, looking around but not seeing the person he wanted to meet. Where's Mia? Wasn't she looking for me? Mr. Taijui shrugged. She just left. She said some strange things too. Oh right, Xieya, I'm flying to Thailand tomorrow for work. Make sure the work there is finished today, okay? Xieya Gu paused. I'll handle it right away. Mr. Taijui brushed his long hair back and asked again, Xieya, am I your only asterisk agent in Southeast Asia? Look me in the eyes and answer. Xieya Gu frowned. That's strange. We signed a contract. How could I open another agency? The compensation would be enough for you to spend for 10 lifetimes. Mr. Taijui looked bewildered. So what was that just now? What? Oh, never mind, get to work. I left hand high and went straight to Starlight Advertising. The moment Snow Song saw me, her face drenched in tears, she jumped. Mia, who bullied you? Why are you crying so badly? Who dared to touch you? I'll deal with them. I hugged Snow Song tightly, sobbing. Snow, I'm not human. She patted my shoulder. I know you're an animal. I froze, then cried even harder. What exactly happened? I sniffled as I recounted Xieya Gu's true love story. Snow Song was silent for a moment, then she asked, Mia, tell me honestly, are you crying for the 40 million gold or for Xieya Gu? I paused, my heart suddenly in turmoil, so much so that I forgot why I was crying. Snow Song sighed. Mia, you've fallen in love. I was startled. It's over, I didn't earn the money and I gave away my heart. This is a huge loss. I should always be wary of high-paying traps. Snow Song gently patted my shoulder. What are you going to do now? Fight for him or retreat early? I bowed my head. Retreat. After all, they're the official couple. Snow Song hugged me. Don't be afraid, Mia. No matter what you decide, you'll never be alone. That evening, I returned the employment letter to Madame Gu. Thank you for your trust, madam, but I can no longer take on this job. I'm truly sorry. Madame Gu was filled with regret. Why like this? I interviewed so many girls and only you could handle Xieya. Don't go, I'll raise your salary. I refused the offer. This has nothing to do with money. Xieya Gu already has someone else in his heart. Forcing him will only make things worse. Madame Gu sighed sadly. Will the Gu family truly die out because of that rebellious son? That's the Gu family's private matter. It's not appropriate for me to interfere. After returning the employment letter, I stood up to take my leave. Madame Gu ran after me, pressing a card into my hand. I said it before, even if it doesn't work out, you must receive a living allowance. This is the money you deserve. I accepted the card, thanked her, and officially moved out of the Gu residence. Back at my small apartment, Snow Song and Cheng Mo had already arrived and were busy in the kitchen. Snow Song held up a plate, smiling brightly as she ran to greet me. Today is Mia's Freedom Day. We must celebrate big. She placed the dish in front of me. Look, I made your favorite braised beef with tomatoes. Eat a lot. The aroma instantly filled my nostrils and my stomach immediately churned. I rushed to the bathroom and dry heaved. Snow Song followed, then stopped abruptly. Mia, are you? I did some quick mental calculations. It's quite possible, Snow Song sighed. Oh my god, it's only been a few days and you're already so fast. Should we tell Director Gu? No. I struggled to lift my head. I already promised Mr. Taijui. I can't break my word. If they knew, their relationship would definitely be affected. Snow Song nodded. All right, being decisive is good. So what are you going to do? I placed my hand on my belly, feeling a bit strange. These are my children too. It could be 2, 3, or even 4 or 5 little lives. It's truly miraculous, I think. I'll give birth. Snow Song held my face, saying firmly, good. Even without the Gu family, we still have Starlight. Let's work hard enough to raise these children. Cheng Mo poked his head out from the kitchen. Or maybe the children need a father? I smiled awkwardly. No need, senior. This is too big a matter. Cheng Mo shook his head regretfully. Snow Song leaned in close, whispering teasingly. Are you really not considering it at all? Senior Cheng Mo is a very good person, and he's so devoted to you. I laughed and shook my head. I've known Cheng Mo since my freshman year of college, so it's been 5 or 6 years now. If I had feelings, we would have been together long ago. I truly don't feel that way, and I don't want to take advantage of his feelings by having him be a surrogate father. That wouldn't be fair. In the early morning, my phone kept buzzing with messages from Xieya Gu. Xieya, Mia, where are you? I won't be angry anymore. Please don't cancel the contract, okay? Send me your location. I'll come pick you up. Snow Song patted my shoulder. Don't look at your phone anymore, you'll get carsick. Look, a shooting star. I turned off my phone, looking up at the sky. In the vast expanse, glittering shooting stars with long tails streaked across the sky, then vanished. I silently wished for Xieya Gu to have everything he desired in his world. My next encounter with Xieya Gu was a month later, in front of the Gobi Desert Sands in Dunhuang. He drove a dusty off-road vehicle, stopping right in front of me. He stepped out, his beard unshaven, his hair disheveled, covering his eyes. His clothes looked like they hadn't been changed in days, carrying a slight, unpleasant odor. The moment I caught the scent, my nausea surged again. Xieya Gu's eyes were red as he stared at me, as if afraid I'd disappear again if he blinked. Little Mia, you really know how to hide. But I swore I wasn't intentionally avoiding him. After confirming my pregnancy, Snow Song suggested we seize the opportunity to travel while the baby was still small, lest I have no time after giving birth. Worried that long journeys would affect the baby, we drove ourselves, traveling only about 3 hours each day, stopping wherever we liked. Sometimes we stayed overnight in hotels, other times we slept at highway service stations. I'm not exaggerating. Our month-long journey was no different from people on the run from the law. Xieya Gu said, "Come home with me." I took a step back. No, I'm not going home. Director Gu, the sea of suffering is boundless, but turning back is the shore. You said you wanted me to have you in my heart, but you can't have an entire apartment complex in yours. Xieya Gu looked bewildered. Apartment complex? Only you are in my heart. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly shook my head, dispelling the romantic thought. Lies, your brother Taijui is so devoted. Do you think I'm blind? Isn't he enough? You're still looking for me, planning to find another man too, to have all 3 genders before you're satisfied. Xieya Gu explained. He's not my lover. He's the company's exclusive agent for Southeast Asia. Huh, I froze. That only one meant asterisk this. Could it be that I misunderstood? Snow Song, expressionless, poked me. You're really something, bestie. If you have time, go get your brain checked. Money will definitely be enough to cure you. I couldn't believe it. Such a handsome man, and he truly didn't have feelings for him? Xieya Gu's voice softened. He moved closer, a hint of grievance in his tone. Mia, that day I was at the company until 2 a.m. When I came home, Mother said you had resigned. I looked everywhere I could, but I couldn't find you. I won't force you to have me in your heart anymore. I've accepted the contract. Can you just let me be your only contractual partner? Mia, just seeing you every day is enough. A glint of tears shone in Xieya Gu's eyes. He looked truly pitiful. Seeing my silence, he carefully hugged me. Mia, you are my only one. The moment I heard that, I couldn't suppress the surge of nausea. I immediately rushed 3 meters away and vomited violently. Xieya Gu looked at his empty arms, then at me, rushing away like an arrow. He looked dumbfounded. Is that sentence really so nauseating? I won't say it anymore later. Snow Song rolled her eyes. These two idiots. Until now, Xieya Gu finally realized the problem. He became careful, placing his hand on my belly. Mia, is there a baby here? I shook my head. That's my stomach, thank you. Xieya Gu was still excitedly rubbing, trying to find the baby's position. Chengmo stood nearby, sneering coldly. This father doesn't seem very smart, does he? Do we need to change him? Xieya Gu froze, rolled up his sleeves, and lunged to fight Chengmo, you rotten scoundrel, always trying to dig up my wall. Get lost. You're useless yourself and you blame others. I'll keep digging, Snow Song pouted. How about we go first? The two of them combined aren't even 10 years old. I completely agreed. On the way back, we still traveled in fits and starts, taking half a month to finally reach Lin City. Xieya Gu immediately took me to the Gu family home but couldn't enter, because right outside the gate, a man had been waiting for a long time. Little Mia, get out of the car. I looked up, startled, and immediately obediently stepped out and stood still. Xieya Gu roared in anger. Guards, drag this guy away. How dare he yell at my wife? Have you lived long enough? I quickly grabbed him. That's my brother, Suju. Xieya Gu immediately fell silent, standing obediently straight. I ran to Suju, flattering him with a smile. Brother, why are you back in the country? Suju snorted coldly. If I didn't come back, how would I know you've done such a good thing, selling yourself for a bit of money? Well done. I cowered like a quail. There was no other way. Even though we were Dragon Phoenix twins, I had been afraid of him since childhood. Our father passed away early, and Suju was naturally mature. Since adulthood, he had borne family responsibilities like a true elder, scolding me as if he were teaching a grandson. Xieya Gu approached, his heart aching. Scold me. Mia is pregnant, she can't take criticism. Suju emanated a cold aura, his voice full of authority. Don't be so quick to call each other brother and sister. Whether you get married or not is still unknown. Even if little Mia never marries, our Su family can still raise her. Don't think that just because you contributed a few cells, you can wield power over my sister. Come home with me. I was taken away by Suju, leaving Xieya Gu for a full 6 months. Although I still lived in Lin City, it felt like we were separated by thousands of mountains and rivers. Xieya Gu could visit, but only from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., after which he would be sent home. During that time, Suju watched him very carefully. Madame Gu immediately arranged for a marriage proposal. It took 3 months of persistence for Suju to finally nod his head, then another 3 months of talks before he allowed them to bring engagement gifts to the door. I secretly asked Suju, surprised, Brother, aren't you being a bit too tedious? Suju glared. What do you know, your brain is as small as a walnut. Marriage is a lifelong matter. What's a few days of hardship for them? If it's too much trouble, don't get married. You'll carry the Su surname, and I'll allow you to date that Gu guy for the rest of your life. I immediately fell silent. The wedding date was finally set for early spring next year, coinciding with the baby's 100-day celebration. The doctor confirmed it. Triplets. Madame Gu happily spun around, preparing the wedding, then immediately started planning the baby's 100-day banquet. On the first day of winter, 3 sons were born. The moment I left the delivery room, my phone received a notification. A transfer of 3/8 of the total 90 million gold, making me want to jump up and dance right there on the hospital bed. Suju looked at me, pouting. Impressive, huh? Short on spending money? I proudly retorted. You wouldn't understand. This is money I earned myself. Right before the wedding, Xieya Gu and I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to register our marriage. The moment the stamp pressed down, he held my hand and pressed it to his lips. It's wonderful. After all these years, I finally waited for you. I looked bewildered. Waited for many years? You didn't mistake me for someone else, did you? Xieya Gu sighed helplessly. Do you remember getting lost when you were 10? At the mention of this, I vaguely recalled. It was the first year I came to Lin City. Mother had taken my brother to register for school, telling me to stay put and not run around. Who knew that as soon as she left, a snake crawled out from the bushes? I was so scared I covered my head and ran aimlessly. Somehow, I got lost. The sky gradually darkened and passersby became sparse. I sat crying under a street lamp when suddenly, a teenager about 15 years old stopped in front of me, looking arrogant, trying to act grown-up. He frowned and asked, Kid, why are you crying? Sniffled, I'm lost and hungry. The teenager snorted lightly. Small matter, what do you want to eat? I'll treat you. I wiped my tears. Spicy skewer hot pot? The teenager laughed. Kid, haven't you ever eaten anything good? Spicy skewer hot pot is all processed food. Aren't you afraid of a stomachache? Despite his words, he still led me to a skewer hot pot restaurant. He told the whole place, "Eat whatever you want, I'm paying for everything." But he didn't eat, looking disgusted. When he wasn't looking, I snuck a fish cake into his mouth. "Oh my God, what's this?" He chewed, then murmured, It's actually tasty, isn't it?" I smirked triumphantly. "Right, it might not be healthy, but it's delicious." After eating my fill, he took me to a nearby police station. As we parted ways, I tugged on his shirt. "How should I repay you?" He waved his hand. "No need, I'm not short on money." "Then how should I thank you?" He rested his chin on his hand, thinking. "How about you be my girlfriend later? But I'm still young. We'll wait until you're older, then decide." After recalling the memory, my eyes widened. "You waited all this time because of a childhood promise?" Xieya Gu shook his head and smiled softly. "Not really. I'm not a pervert. It's just that the day you reappeared, I stared at you in a daze. Every single thing about this girl was exactly my type. Truly, no wonder she was destined for me since childhood." Epilogue *, 5 years into our marriage, I had given birth twice. The first time it was triplets, big treasure, second treasure, and third treasure born before we were married. Xieya Gu said 3 was enough, no need for more. But unfortunately, I got pregnant again. This time it was quadruplets, 2 boys and 2 girls, nicknamed Little Mountain, Little Sea, Little Pearl, and Little Jade. My mother-in-law waved her hand generously, sticking to the old rules, transferring a full 100 million into my account. Xieya Gu repeatedly warned, 7 children, that's enough, no more. But once, during a hot spring soak, I couldn't resist and got pregnant again. This time it was triplets. Xieya Gu looked at my belly, his face full of questions. "Are your ancestors reincarnated rabbit spirits? How do you get pregnant every time you're touched?" My mother-in-law also looked at my belly, frowning tightly. After a moment, she called my father-in-law, who was abroad. "Stop. Stop what? Don't rest anymore. All my cash has been transferred to my daughter-in-law. Hurry up and make money. She has 3 more babies in her belly. If there's not enough money for these little ones, I'll sell your antiques." In just one phone call, the 3 5-year-olds, big treasure, second treasure, and third treasure, zipped to the second floor. Big treasure sneaked into the study, pulling out all the papers from the cabinet and scattering them into the air like flower-scattering immortals. Second treasure clung to the stair railing, sliding down from the second floor like a slide. Third treasure climbed along the pillar, almost reaching the top. My mother-in-law anxiously slapped her thigh, continuously directing 8 bodyguards to catch each child. In a flash, the 2 3-year-olds, Little Mountain and Little Sea, had shredded all the fallen papers, giggling like little devils. My mother-in-law leaned back, sighing. "Girls are still more obedient." "Oh, where are Little Pearl and Little Jade?" the maid replied. "In the garage." It turned out each of them had a stack of sticky labels, turning every car in the garage into a flower car. My mother-in-law was silent for a long time, then turned to Xieya Gu, grinding her teeth. "Go to the hospital and get a vasectomy. I don't need you anymore." In the afternoon, the butler rushed in. "Madam Gu, there's a woman outside claiming to be Director Gu's mistress, pregnant and demanding to see him." Xieya Gu raised his hand and swore, "It's not mine." My mother-in-law laughed coldly. "Send her away, I lack nothing but grandchildren. If she's capable, she can take Xieya Gu. It's up to her." Xieya Gu was alarmed. "Mother, I'm your only son." My mother-in-law's expression didn't change. "When there were 8 generations of only sons, you were the only one. But with 10 grandchildren, what do you count for? Get lost."